Born into humble beginnings, Carlos Palanca Sr. faced many challenges. Lacking a formal education, he overcame adversity through determination and resourcefulness. His story is one of resilience, perseverance, and the belief that hard work can turn dreams into reality. Through hard work, Carlos Palanca Sr. ventured into business, establishing a thriving empire that has lasted through generations. In 1914, Carlos Palanca Sr. recognized the lack of formal educational institutions for the Filipino people, which prompted him to establish the Philippine Chinese Educational Association. During his 15-year presidency, this initiative has paved the way for the establishment of over 100 Chinese schools across Manila and various provinces, leaving a lasting impact on the country's educational landscape. Beyond education, he had a deep appreciation for literature and the arts. He believed that storytelling and creative expression played a vital role in shaping cultural identity and understanding. Throughout his life, he encouraged the development of literature as a means to inspire and empower others. When Carlos Palanca Sr. passed away in 1950, he left behind not only a thriving business but also a legacy of philanthropy and cultural advocacy. His family sought to honor his memory by continuing his commitment to supporting education and literature. In 1950, his heirs established the Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards for Literature. This prestigious award was created to recognize and nurture the talents of Filipino writers, providing them with a platform to share their work and inspire a new generation of literary excellence. The Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards for Literature aims to develop Philippine literature in the following manner: by providing incentives for writers to craft their most outstanding literary works, by being a treasury of the Philippines' literary gems from our gifted writers, and to assist in their eventual dissemination to our people, particularly students. Palanca Awards continue to honor the best and brightest in Philippine literature while also encouraging the next generation of literary voices. With its long-term vision, the Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards for Literature continues to encourage excellence in writing, serving as a treasury of the Philippines' literary masterpieces. The legacy of Carlos Palanca Sr. lives on through these works, empowering the Filipino spirit and inspiring future writers. Today, as we honor the best and brightest in Philippine literature, we celebrate those whose extraordinary contributions have made them true cultural icons of the nation. The National Artists for Literature. The Order of National Artists, also known as the Orden ng mga Pambansang Alagad ng Sining, recognizes Filipino artists who have left an indelible mark on the country's artistic landscape. Administered by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts and the Cultural Center of the Philippines, the award is bestowed by the President of the Philippines upon the recommendation of these esteemed institutions. The Order of National Artists aims to recognize Filipino artists who have made significant contributions to the cultural heritage of the country, Filipino artistic accomplishments at its highest level, and to promote creative expression as significant to the development of a national cultural identity, and Filipino artists who have dedicated their lives to their work to forge new paths and directions for future generations of Filipino artists. Much like Carlos Palanca's legacy lives on, the following national artists and CPMA awardees have also left us with their remarkable legacies. Let us give our respected peers in literature a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, our honorary national artists and esteemed colleagues in the Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards for Literature. Amado V. Hernandez, Jose Garcia Villa, Nick M. Joaquin, Carlos P. Romulo, Francisco Q. Arceliana, NVM Gonzalez, Rolando S. Piño, Levi I. Celerio, Edith L. Tiempo, Francisco Sionil Jose, Alejandro R. Roses, Bienvenido L. Lumbera, Lázaro A. Francisco, Cirilo F. Bautista, Ramon L. Muzones, and while we cherish the memory and lasting influence of those who are no longer with us, we also honor and celebrate the national artists for literature who continue to inspire and contribute to our cultural heritage.
have the greatest influence would be my poetry, because that's what I did most of the time. I hope it had some influence.
Imagine this probably would be the cultural and historical writings and work in the promotion of regional or local cultures.
Meron akong tatlong gawain na ginawa eh. Una, pagiging bakata. Kalawa, pagiging kritiko. Ikatlo, pagiging pasimuno ng children's book publishing. So, yung tatlo na yung palagay ko ay meron akong kaprasong tagahanga sa buong Pilipinas. Dahil nararamdaman ko, pagka ako'y nakita nila, nakatuon doon yung kanilang pansin sa akin. Lalo na halimbawa, pagiging makata, ang dami kong libro ng tula eh. So, pero palagi nilang binabanggit sa akin yung aking doktrina ng anak pawis, saka yung aking muli sa kandungan ng lupa. Sentimental journey ko pabalik sa Pilipinas. Doon naman sa pagiging kritiko ko, yung balagtasismo versus modernismo noong 1984. Sa children's book, I think yun ang marami akong nagawa. Dahil ako yung unang talagang pasimuno sa pagtatrabaho tungkol sa children's book.
What is most important for the writer is what is called a strong sense for language. Because it is the sense for language that is the basic creative sense. Note that word creative. No? Any literary work, be it poem, short story, novel, the so-called creative non-fiction, and also play, no? All those kinds of literary work demand from the writer a strong sense for the language that he is using. Yeah. Without that sense, the creation will somehow fail. You know, that's what I want to emphasize here. No matter what it is, short story or poem, you are creating it. No? What do I mean by that? No? A literary work is work of language and work of imagination at the same time. No? You work the language like the farmer tills the soil to produce his crop. That is sense for language. What about work of imagination? As a writer, whatever your short story, whatever your poem, whatever your play, you must imagine it well, because it is the imagination that makes real what your mind apprehends. Writing in Filipino or you're writing Cebuano, you have a mastery of that language. How did you get that sense for language, that mastery? From reading.
Napansin ko na importante, unang-una, na meron siyang ginawang iba. At yung katangian niya, inahangaan siya ng kanyang mga kapwa makata, kapwa artist, kapwa dancers, kapwa direktor ng pelikula. Kung hindi ganon, kailangan meron siyang support ng mga tao. Yung madla niya, meron siyang audience.
The first milestone and experience, no, that made me desire to be an artist would be my teachers. No? I will mention them. There's Concepcion Dado Falsa, there is Lourdes Arvizu, there is NVM Gonzalez, yeah, and there is Francisco Arcillana.
And which I suppose would go back to the time when I was still in high school, when I started becoming interested in writing, which I suppose was largely a product of the home environment, because my parents were both public school teachers. So I grew up in a home where learning was prized, but at the same time, I kind of, by just sheer osmosis, you become interested in writing, because my father himself was kind of into, contributing to national magazines with articles and so on. So I suppose would be the beginning. But first, the university work. I started out at Suleiman University, where I had a class under Edith Tiempo, National Artist Awardee. But so I had literary interest already, but I was not really writing at that time. Kind of, in a sense, I became seriously involved in writing when I was in my third and fourth year of college at the University of San Carlos, Cebu City, which is my current institution. So I've been hanging out with other campus writers. That's kind of when I really got involved kind of in writing and started publishing short stories in the Philippines Free Press and kind of winning prizes along the way. The longer part of my career, as it were, has been marked by this involvement in literary and cultural studies with a particular emphasis on the regional and the local.
Gusto ko maging manunulat, pero yung tatay ko ayaw akong maging manunulat. Gusto niya maging abogado ako. So pinakuha niya sa akin sa UP ay political science. Umalis ako sa UP, nagturo ako na dahil AB yung aking kinuha, sinabihan ako ng aking eskwela na pinasukan na para ikaw ay maging qualified talaga, kumuha ka ng education units. Pumunta ako sa UE. Nakabarkada ko yung mga writers. Nagsimula akong maging writer sa UE, hindi sa UP. Although, high school pa lang ay talaga nagsusulat na ako. Isang araw, biglang dumating sa aking bahay si Louis Lagdamio. Sabi niya, pwede ka bang maging manager ng book company? Sa lahat naman nakakausap ko, lagi ko tinuturo eh. Napunta naman ako sa Children's Books. Si Louis Lagdamio lang ang pumilit sa akin na magpunta sa Nutrition Center at itayo yung Adarna book, which later on became very, very popular.
More to deepen one's appreciation for, as it were, the kind of the value of your work for others, or kind of the advocacy you might be involved in. It's a deepening of that rather than actually like kind of the promise of setting off on new directions or approaches. Kind of, in a sense, kind of sharpens your sense of the broader responsibilities of being an artist.
I just love writing, no? And so I just continued to write. As to making a significant impact in the field of literature, I was not motivated by that. No, I just love writing, and I work very hard at it. I want my reader to get what I am talking about, no? In the short story or the poem.
Kind of the important thing, I suppose, is like kind of work hard, be free, you know. I think always to be open and free, you know, kind of, there's always something new to learn, you know, kind of, so don't get too closed, kind of too enclosed or too wrapped up in a particular advocacy, but always be open to trying new things. I think it's kind of important. Thinking of my own personal experience, I mean, I've always taken writing as a form of learning, meaning kind of, you know, if there's something that you're curious about and you want to learn about it, the best way of learning about it is to write. So writing is always driven by this appetite to learn. And so that's kind of what I feel is at the heart of writing. I mean, you don't write because you already know and you want to tell people what you already know, but the process of writing itself is a process of learning. So there must always be the appetite for learning. I mean, that's something that kind of nourishes one's writing.
Well, ngayon ang aking kampanya, kami nung aking mga kabataang writers na kasama, ay ang slogan namin, ibalik ang tula sa puso ng madla. Ibig sabihin din yan, ibalik ang panitikan, ang sining sa puso ng madla. Dahil ngayon, nakita ko, ang ating panitikan ay malayo. Ang popular na panitikan natin, ibang-iba sa Palanca panitikan. Kailangan hanapin natin kung ano yung formula, magbabalik uli sa pagmamahal ng tao sa pagtula. Ang palagay ko ngayon, para sa aspiring writers, kailangan nilang magbasa ng kasaysayang mabuti. And then tumulong sila sa paghahanap ng katangian nating mga Pilipino, yun ay tula nila. Para matulungan nila yung madla natin, para makaahon sa kanilang mga maling perspective sa buhay. Ang mahalaga, magkaisa yung lahat ng mga artists. Magkaisa sila para sumulat, lumika, magdrama, magpelikula, ng mga bagay na makakatulong para yung ating mga kababayan ay makaahon sa kanilang kamangmangan, ma-educate sila, mabigyan ng bagong orientation, magkaisa, at mag-isip tungkol sa ating sariling kalayaan, karapatan, at pagsulong bilang isang bansa.
With deepest respect and admiration, we extend our sincerest gratitude to each and every one of you, our renowned national artists for literature and CPMA awardees. Your dedication to your craft, your commitment to truth and beauty, and your relentless pursuit of excellence have elevated Philippine literature to unparalleled heights. Through your words, you have captured the essence of our nation, weaving narratives that resonate with the Filipino spirit and identity. Thank you for your invaluable contribution to Philippine literature, and may your legacy continue to inspire generations to come.
The challenges faced by a creative writer have never been as daunting as today. And yet, it's that very monstrosity of such a myriad of obstacles that may inspire our writers to infuse fresh spirit to the old myths, dreams, visions, and hopes of earlier times to make everything new. So in our own small way, we of the Palanca Foundation, by the grace of God, will continue to offer the opportunity for Filipino writers to be on the side of redemption. Welcome again to a community that seeks nothing but to redeem and preserve the best of what humanity can offer.